What's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm bringing you a very popular topic. This is one I get asked about all the time. This seems to be all anybody cares about once the hot weather rolls around is beast mode summer fragrances. Some powerful, long-lasting, loud fragrances for the hot weather. Now look, there's many out there. Obviously, there's less of those than there is for the cooler months. The darker, denser, deeper fragrances definitely perform better most of the time, but there are some fresh fragrances out there that will give you that 8+ hour territory and be pretty loud projecting fragrances with heavier sillages. In this video, I've got 10 of those for you. I want to discuss them, so stay tuned. Starting with one that is kind of quintessential at this stage since it came out in 2020. We're talking about Acqua di Gio Profundo. Gorgeous fragrance. Blue aquatic, super fresh, marine, salty sea breeze. Oceanic, salty sea breeze smell. I love that kind of stuff this time of year. It just screams summer, it screams beach vacation. But this has a little bit more going for it than just being a by the beach scent. Not super tropical fruity drink type of by the beach stuff, but oceanic for sure. And the performance here is ridiculous. It's 8 to 10 hours on my skin, and it's a very loud fragrance. This is one that if you want some attention, spray it a little bit beyond moderately, and people will definitely easily smell you. This is one that if you want to be a little bit more, less pronounced, you just kind of go easy, 2-3 sprays, but people will still smell you even at 2 or 3 sprays, because this stuff is no slouch in performance. Probably the best performing fragrance in the line on my skin, and we're talking the discontinued Essenza even. Profumo, great performer. Absolute, great performer, don't get me wrong, but on my skin and for my money, when it comes to performance for summertime, they can't touch Profondo. Next, I only have a decant of this. I did purchase a full bottle. I do have a 4.2 ounce bottle coming, but we are talking about Jean-Paul Gaultier's Labeau Le Parfum. As you can see by the juice level dropping in this decant, I literally put one spray on my forearm every single night since I got this. I love the way this smells. This is definitely a much more tropical and sweet fragrance. The blast of pineapple and coconut that you get in this, yes, it's a little bit more on the synthetic side, I guess you could say, but it gets me every time. The opening on into the dry down, it's sweet, it's powdery, it's just beautiful. I love everything about it. I think tropical summer dinners, being on vacation at the beach, going out to dinner that evening, having some seafood, some tropical fruity drinks, this is that fragrance for me. I don't even need to finish this decant. Like I said, I have a 4.2 ounce bottle en route at the recording of this. I will do a full review. I've only done a first impressions on this so far, so I'm not going to go too heavy into detail, but this one's sample worthy, especially if you like the original. This one has a little bit more going for it. I don't get a ton of iris, though I do get a light, soapy, powdery floral tone. The cypress green feel is definitely there, and like I said, it's very sweet and powdery at the same time. This is beautiful, and performance is bananas. One spray, I got a really nice sillage and bubble going around me all the way into the next morning when I wake up and go to the gym. It's usually still on my wrist and has to burn off from me working up a sweat. So this is definitely a beast. It screams summer beach vacation. Again, that's Jean-Paul Gaultier's Labeau Le Parfum. Speaking of fragrances that scream, I just did a full review on this one. This is not your typical summer fragrance. It's definitely got airy summer vibes to it, more on the floral side. It's floral, it's sweet, it's fruity. It is Shaghaf pour Homme from Rasasi. This is one you can get in the $35 to $50 price point range, depending on where you find it, and it's absurdly powerful. And look, honestly, the opening, it's a bit much. It's cloying, it's strong, it's a little on the harsh, chemically synthetic side. Not more so cloying than harsh, but once you give it a few minutes and let it tone down a little bit, because it's a monster in performance, The dry down's gorgeous on this. I get a little bit of rose early on with this fruity note combination that they have. I get a little bit of the powderiness from the tonka bean. Vanilla and sandalwood and orchid kind of become the star of the show in the dry down. Even though it doesn't sound like a summer vibe fragrance, when you smell it, there's no denying. This is an airy summer vibe type of scent that's just not your standard generic aquatic. There's nothing aquatic about it, but it still has that breezy airiness that makes you think out in the sun. At least it does for me. This is a gorgeous fragrance that more people need to try. It's just really, really good stuff. At the recording of this, it was my scent of the day earlier today. This stuff's great. Check this one out if you haven't yet. Under the radar, Middle Eastern fragrance that's just great for the summer and is a beast. This is Shaghaf pour Homme from Rasasi. Next, for as fresh as this is, it's absurdly powerful. Crazy, crazy strong. I don't wear more than 4 sprays. This stuff fills a room on my skin and lasts every bit of 10 hours. It's Percival from Parfums de Marly. This is more of a strategic wear for me because it's so sneaky strong on my skin. This stuff's just a monster. Beautiful, fruity, fresh ambroxan shower gel, mass appealing crowd pleaser, compliment getter. All of those things you would expect from a blue fragrance, just this is a powerful niche blue fragrance. This stuff is crazy strong. This is one of the strongest fragrances that's built for the summer that I've ever sprayed on my skin. And when I say built for the summer, it's because it's just so mega fresh and super airy and bright. But still, like I said, just crazy strong. Easy to go anosmic too. You'll get some olfactory fatigue, go nose blind, maybe not smell it as well, but next thing you know, somebody's telling you, "Ooh, you're strong," or something, because it's just radiating all around you. That has been my experience with Percival. Definitely a must try. It gets touted as being more of an expensive designer fragrance because from discounters you can find it in the sub $200 price point, especially for 75 mLs like this, around $150, $160. And it definitely has more of a designer smell to it. It doesn't smell super expensive, but it performs like a super expensive fragrance for sure. It doesn't smell as synthetic as your more mid-level designers. It definitely smells like a cut above, don't get me wrong, but I can understand where people are coming from claiming this to be more of a designer, but hey, no matter how you look at it, it smells great, pulls in compliments, it's great in the heat, and it's an absolute freaking beast. That's Percival from Parfums de Marly. Next is one of my favorite indie niche releases of 2022. This is definitely By the Beach Sunset. It's in the name. It's called San Diego Pacific Sunset from City Rhythm Fragrance. Love these bottles. Love how the juice color reflects off of this design at the bottom. Metal plaque. Really nice cap. And the scent is beautiful. It's a 50% oil concentration. I don't know how they were able to pull off being so airy, so light. It has a breeziness to it. When you see the note breakdown, there's some aquatic notes to it. There's some spices. There's a little bit of florals. There's a lot of things going on here. But when I smell it, it definitely puts me in a summer's evening dining near the beach. It really does. It has that sea breeze air coming off of the water, off of the ocean, by the beach. It puts you there when you smell it. And like I said, it's a 50% oil concentration. This stuff is strong. If you want it to be really loud, spray a little heavier, but it's going to stay on your skin until you wash it off. Like I said, 50% oil concentration. You can definitely get a sample and check this out. These 50 ml bottles are gorgeous though. I love the new bottle designs. Not that it's the most important thing. At the end of the day, the scent is what matters the most, and the scent on this one is fantastic. Gotta love when there's a new gorgeous original that comes out for summer that performs, because that's so hard to do these days, because everything for summer has pretty much been done to death. So this is very refreshing. Check this one out. Get a sample if you haven't. If you're looking for a nice, original, powerful hot weather fragrance, City Rhythm San Diego Pacific Sunset might be the one. Cheap beast right here. No secret about my love for this fragrance. Haven't been wearing it much lately. There was a stretch when I first got it when I was wearing it almost non-stop. I'm talking about Rasasi Hawas, the second Rasasi fragrance in this video. It deserves to be here just as much, if not more, than Shaghaf, but it's really good, guys. Spicy Invictus is how you can look at it. God, that smells good. And it's a monster. This was manufactured in February of this year, at the recording of it. As you can see, it's the darker purple juice. And it's a monster. I don't do more than 4 sprays on this. This is a room filler, 10 plus hour fragrance. It's crazy strong. And I'm a huge fan of the Invictus DNA. Fragrances that have the Invictus opening smell like Invictus. People get tired of them. I never do, because I love Invictus. I love Invictus Aqua. I just love that DNA, that sweet aquatic. It just works for me. Well, here it's that sweet aquatic with some spices. Some cinnamon, and I believe a little bit of cardamom. It even comes off a little smoky on my skin, even though there's no incense or smoky woods or any note of any kind that would lead you to believe that that's even a thing. But on my skin, it kind of comes across that way. And you can get this one in the sub $50 price point. A lot of places somewhere in the low 40s range, Amazon, FragranceNet, all these different places, eBay sellers. Trust me, it's worth it. It's gorgeous. It's a compliment magnet, and it's a beast. It's built for the summer, but it's also built to last you all frickin' day. This stuff's awesome. Had to be in this video. Rasasi Hawas. Speaking of Invictus, it would be too easy to just include the original Invictus here, but that's a little too redundant to Rasasi Hawas. But what's not too redundant to Hawas is the Legend flanker from Paco Rabanne in the Invictus line. This is a tester bottle, that's why it says the name on the front. This is more about amber, sea salt, and bay leaf. It's herbal, it's salty, very salty, even more so on my skin than in the air, and a lot of warm amber. Yes, you can still pick up the Invictus DNA in the background. It does have an aquatic vibe to it, but mainly because of all of that sea salt. And this is a monster. This is another 10 plus hour fragrance on my skin that is so loud. For about 2 to 3 hours, you can fill a room with this fragrance too. This is stronger on me than the original Invictus. And the original Invictus is a beast on my skin. It really is. It always has been. The Intense is a beast on me as well. The only one that's not is Aqua 2018, but still performs above average. But I digress. That's irrelevant to this video topic. This stuff's really, really freaking good. There was a time when it had a good bit of hype, and it's definitely one that deserves to be revisited by those that haven't been wearing it lately, or if you've yet to sample it and you're looking for, you're not really a big fan of the Invictus line, but you like the salty, aquatic type of fragrances. This one's a little bit different. It doesn't smell like everything else. I don't have another fragrance out of the hundreds and hundreds, almost 1,000 fragrances I have nothing else that smells like this. It's actually a beautiful fragrance, as long as you're okay with super salty. Because it is super salty, but there's a beauty and a radiance and an herbaceous quality to this with the amber and the bay leaf that just works so well the way they blended this. And I'll say it once again, it's an absolute frickin' beast. That's Paco Rabanne, Invictus Legend. New for summer 2022 is the 4th rendition of my favorite fragrance line from one of my favorite indie houses. That's Authenticity Parfums. It's the new Summer Vibes. This is Summer Vibes 4.0. This is officially my favorite from the house. This smells like frozen pineapple. Yes, I said frozen pineapple. So beautiful. There's a clean musk to this. There's some marine notes that add kind of a watery, not quite sea breeze type of feel, but more watery. The frozen mint leaves that are here are dominant with this juicy sliced pineapple smell that never goes away. This is another one that's 50% all concentration, is super affordable too. You can get these 60 ml bottles for around 40 bucks. And it's freaking amazing. My wife loves this one, perfectly unisex. She has worn it twice already. I have worn it twice so far because it's very recent in my collection. It just came out in the last couple of weeks. And for those of you that have been watching the channel for a while, you know the green label, the 2.0 version, was my favorite from the house. This has now taken the place as the king of the mountain from Authenticity. One of my absolute favorites for the summer rotation, for my personal summer rotation this year. And it had to be in this video because it fits the video topic so well. Because it's a gorgeous, tropical, summer-themed, summer vibe, pun intended, beast of a fragrance. I think this fragrance will always be in this video topic, no matter how many years in a row I revamp it. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense just always deserves to be in a beast mode summer fragrance video because it's one of my all-time favorite beastly summer fragrances. Because I'm such a huge fan of the light blue DNA, and this is just a more dense and powerful version of that scent. It's a little bit more salty. It's a bit more extreme. Intense is a fitting name for it. This is a true intense flanker to an original. I love when they do that properly, because even though the original scent is the ultimate in the line, the original light blue, I think still to this day, with all the good flankers that have come out in the line, I still think it's the best smelling one. This takes that scent and just extremely intensifies the scent and ramps up the performance. The compliment factor is still there from the original. This is every bit of a 9 to 10 hour fragrance on my skin. In the hottest of summer days outside, it still gets every bit of 8 hours on my skin. And like I said, it's loud, has a strong trail. This one grabs people. It's captivating. This is a friggin' compliment magnet and an absolute beast for summer. That's why, like I said, it'll probably always be in this list. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. Last but not least, this is the fresh fragrance from Happyland Studio. This is the freshest. EJ finally started to make things a bit more fresh, but this one has a little bit of an aquatic vibe to it because there's so much ambergris in the base. It's aromatic, it's fruity, it's citrus, it's a little sweet. It's Happyland Shameless. It is my favorite fragrance from the house. It is the most versatile. It is the summer freshie from Happyland Studio, and it's so good. God, that smells good. It's gonna, at the top, you're gonna get a little bit of an Invictus hit, just a little touch. A little bit of Aqua Amara from Bulgari starts to dry into a much more blue and aquatic fragrance. Like I said, that ambergris and lavender start to settle in more because there's a tart fruitiness, a little bit of a bitter fruitiness to it. Some orange stands out, but that opening starts to really transition into more of a blue fragrance, even though it's an orange label, and it has a similar note breakdown to Invictus. You only get a few seconds of an Invictus smell, and then it really becomes this beautiful aquatic that takes from multiple fantastic, all-time great summer fragrances and really makes its own thing. You would think heavy ambergris might be a little too much, but the way EJ composed this stuff, it's amazing. And I forgot exactly how high the oil concentration is for Happyland. I know it's above 30%. This stuff's a monster. This is another one. 10 to 12 hours on my skin. Heavy projection for about 3, bordering into the 4-hour territory before it settles into some pretty heavy, not super heavy, but I would say moderate to heavy sillage. Another great summer beast. I'm so glad EJ finally put out a true fresh fragrance. Fresh for EJ's standards anyways. If you guys are familiar with Happyland Studio, you know it's all about dense, heavy, powerful, sweet, chypres, gourmands, things like that. Gorgeous stuff comes out of the house, but this is definitely the mass appealing fragrance. And you guys know I like my mass appealing fragrances. But it's definitely a summer beast. Happyland, Shameless. Well, that's the 10 that I have for you today. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What in this video do you have already, or have you tried? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, whether you love it or you hate it, regardless of which one it is. And for those that you haven't tried, what sparked your interest and you kind of feel like you maybe need to grab a sample? A lot of these, there's links in the link tree down in the description, discount codes and so on, to find a lot of these fragrances. If you're interested in them, I'll do my best to find links for everything outside of the link tree. I'll try to, list the fragrances mentioned with some links for you guys. Make it easy for, in the event you want to try something, maybe I can help find it for the cheapest place I can find it for you. Maybe I have a discount code. Who knows? But I appreciate all of you stopping by. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the 10 I featured here today and you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.